Welcome to Prime Media TV. Corruption seems to have become a part and parcel of India, and as such, Goa cannot be an exception. The ramifications of corruption are very serious as far as the development is concerned. On one hand, we have development, and the other hand, we have corruption. Sometimes they go side by side. But there are people who have been fighting this menace of corruption for quite many years. We have people who are sincerely devoting their time, effort, and some sort of even sacrifice that they make to, we cannot root out corruption, but to bring it down to some level. We have with us Mr. Dilip Kumar, who has retired as a Special Commissioner of Police in New Delhi. He was earlier with the CBI. He was also the DIG in Arunachal Pradesh, and he was basically started his career in Goa, rose to become the Superintendent of Police. The last posting before he went to Delhi and joined the CBI was in Margao. And we are fortunate that he is in Goa. We managed to catch hold of him and bring him here to share the work that he has done against the corruption. He has done a lot of work also against narcotics in Goa, and I hope he'll be able to share with us what needs to be done and what can be done to eliminate, if possible. I don't think so it's possible, but we can reduce at least corruption. And welcome, Mr. Dilip Kumar. Nice to have you back in Goa, I think after 12 years or so.
Yeah.
Nice to have you. Nice to have you. We still remember you. I still remember when you were in the narcotics.
Thank you.
At one time, nobody knew what was happening to the drug menace in Goa, and you came on the scene and you put the place, the whole system in place. Later on, we heard you in New Delhi. You made waves, and even you were accorded a prestigious prize by the India Today for your fight against corruption. What is that you have to tackle corruption, and what has been your success?
First of all, let me thank you for remembering me for my work. It was ages ago, and almost 30 years back, 85 or something. I was there in Bhasa as an additional SP. That was the time. A couple of years I did some work in narcotics, and big cases were caught. I think still it's a record, the number of cases and number of seizures, quantity of seizures. But even that apart, but past is past, people normally forget. But I'm very happy and grateful to you that you still remember about that.
No, people remember those who have left their imprints on the sign of crime and corruption.
That's very nice of you. And when it comes to India Today, I think what you're mentioning, yes, I can say that about 50% of my career went in regular policing. That was primarily in Goa and in Arunachal, etc. They handle several kinds of criminals. So, but my method of interrogation was always a human touch was there. I was trying to reform them. Even while handling narcotics also, I never tried to encourage the third degree methods. Because my mission there is to see that the person who is involved in crime, and they indulge in crime mainly because there is a need at the house. Either somebody is hungry, or somebody is starving, or somebody is sick seriously, then they enter into crime. So, when we think of it as a human being, we know the society is not providing them enough. There may be 10% reticent, they are regular crime, and they indulge crime, those people are different. But majority of almost up to 90% of criminals whom we call criminals, they commit them because there's some dire need somewhere. So when we think of that, then I thought best way is to change them, transform them into good human beings. They'll be better human being society. So simply by beating them, getting confessions will not help us. If we touch their hearts, they confess everything. Our purpose of detection and proving the case is already done. My purpose is achieved. At the same time, it's a heart-to-heart talk. And he is convinced that yes, my intention is to see that the man is reformed. If he comes out of jail, he has to be a reformed person. I've tried to help them when they came out also, some of them. So that, but that was my approach here. But when I compared that with the other side of going to CBI, my eyes opened. See, here this is a criminal. We call them a criminal. Society calls him a criminal. And not only that, if he's caught while committing a crime, people catch him, hammer him, and there are people who are killed also. So not knowing that somebody will be dying of starvation or some medical needs at home. So, but this is the approach of society. But now think of that, among those people who are killing them or who are hammering them, some of them may be corrupt persons. Those corrupt people, now you think of their status. Who are they? When corruption is not one crime, it is involved in several crimes. Normally, this anti-corruption branches, CBI, they simplify that. Say the Corruption Act, or conspiracy. It is not so. Corruption includes many times extortion. Because who is willing to pay? You see, if the work is not done, then I will not do your work unless you pay me the money. It is extortion. So it involves extortion. It involves criminal misappropriation. It involves criminal breach of trust, conspiracy, Corruption Act. And several major crimes are involved. And all the major crimes, if you compound that, if it is America, they get punishment for each. It's a cumulative punishment. Where in India, it is the biggest crime is punished. All others get out of the thing. I mean, our system is that. But even then, he should get a minimum punishment of 5 years. So compare the 5 years punishment with the fellows, a person who is committing a crime because of need. This is only for 3 to 6 months. Whereas that man is committing a dozen crimes which are all very major. But still society does not treat him as a criminal. So that is what I found after going to CBI. Because my eyes were really opened with real crime is there. Yeah, it may be a politician, it may be a bureaucrat, somebody who is in one signature he makes crores of rupees.
Just one signature.
One signature, isn't it? One deal. Finish. I mean, huge money is made. And silently. Sometimes silently, sometimes openly, whatever is that, etc. But that's a huge money. And does he need it? No. It is a greed. A person who has a greed and is making so much of money. And we are not treating them as criminals. Criminal is what? Whoever commits a crime. Who is acting against law. Here they are acting against law in many ways. In many cases, many sections of law are applicable. Here only one section of law, either 379, 380, a specific section. And the punishment is meager. So when this man is a criminal, who is this man? He should be called bigger criminal, means jumbo criminal. So jumbo criminal in our parlance is Rakshas. That's why I call every person a Rakshas. Among the Rakshasas, a special Rakshas is Bakasur. For him, his appetite is unending. It's a huge, enormous appetite.
You think there are Bakasurs in India?
Every corrupt man is a Bakasur because he has no limit for the greed.
And his greed keeps on increasing.
Initially, it may be need. From need, he changes to habit. Then, it's a sort of an enticement he will get. Then it becomes a greed. From greed, it becomes a pathological sickness. So corruption, regular corruption is nothing but a pathological sickness. Otherwise, everybody knows, the man who is collecting money also knows how much money one needs for being happy and contented, being comfortable, a certain amount of money. Let's suppose somebody says 1 crore is sufficient. The other fellow says, no, 10 crores. When somebody says 100 crores, now lakhs of crores also being swindled by people there, either industrialists, business people. Wherever ethics are missing, I don't say only bureaucrats or politicians or judges or anybody. So there may be, there are other group of people. It may be industrialists, business people, and professionals also. A number of professionals, doctors, such kind of lawyers, such people also. They don't maintain any ethics. So wherever there is lack of ethics, and wherever people try to extort money and use this money for choking the systems. So it's an illegal game.
So you mean to say that corruption is with the higher levels of the society?
No. See, ultimately when a senior person, for example, now take the example, I work in Delhi also. The commissioner of police is corrupt. And if he wants money from his subordinates, so naturally he will take money. If he has to pay 1 lakh to commissioner, this man will make 50 lakhs. So obviously, corruption, what happened? Money is very attractive for them. So everybody tries to make big money. So who suffers? Common man. Rich people, they have a lot of black money, they can throw it away. But other people who just live on with limited means, how can they for a death certificate? People want 5,000 rupees.
Just for the issuance of the
death certificate. Somebody has died in the house.
Yeah.
So, is it not a tragedy?
Did you come across such?
I read cases in Delhi. A rich, somebody who was reasonably rich.
Yeah.
He came to me crying. So he says, "Sir, my mother died." Oh, okay. Then sorry for that. Then he said, sir, my problem is that my brother has gone with the ashes to Haridwar. Now I have been assigned the task of getting the formalities done. I had to get my death certificate. I went to those people who are doing the computer work, etc. They only have to just enter the names and give me the certificate. This fellow goes and they said that they wanted this money. So he was angry. He said, sir, he was in tears. He said, sir, I can pay the money, but I'm hurt. I don't want to pay the money. Then I said, I caught those people. I went and caught those people. But even at that level, what I mean is, death certificate, your birth certificate, any other certificate, I mean, go to a ration shop, anything you want, I mean, they want money. So it is spread. But simple thing is that if a higher authority is indulging corruption, he has no moral authority to control corruption below.
So do you mean this is the reason why the corruption is on the rise?
It is. It is. If there is if higher level corruption is not there, then those higher authority will have the moral authority to control their subordinates.
So you mean to say that they also lack ethics as they go about and dealing with the subordinates and the others?
In what way ethics means?
Ethics means if I have been indulging in corruption myself, I don't have a moral for...
No, absolutely, that's what I meant it. Now think of an anti-corruption branch. What is the mission of the anti-corruption branch? They are supposed to combat corruption. If these people are paying money somewhere for these postings and they make money here, tell me what more, they have legal authority, but do they have moral authority also?
Because very often one hears that to get X, Y, Z posting, even in police, you have to pay money somewhere.
Why? Even recruitment. Now I was shocked in Goa also. I was told the recruitment of sub-inspector costs 35 lakhs of rupees here.
Is it?
That's what I heard. I mean, I was shocked about it.
Okay.
If that means things have not changed, things have only deteriorated.
So you mean to say there is corruption everywhere? I think there's lots more that will come out as we keep on talking. So for the time being, stay back. We have a short break.
To know more about Goa, its heritage and culture, watch Go Goa No Goa every Tuesday, 10:30 a.m., 1:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. only on Prime TV Goa.
Welcome back. You are watching Prime Media TV and we are talking about a very hot topic, and that's corruption. We have fortunately with us Mr. Dilip Kumar, who from the IPS cadre, who had his stint in the CBI and most importantly in the Anti-Corruption Bureau in New Delhi. I think you made a lot of waves when you joined the Anti-Corruption Bureau in Delhi, and I remember the press saying that the sting operations that you did. What were these?
In fact, true. I still remember Mail today. They gave a headline, King of Sting. So when they were referring to my work, they summarized the work and the title was King of Sting. See, it's like whenever we do something differently from others, it catches the attention of public and the media, obviously, that's the thing. And for me, I mean, it is not to catch the attention of public and I do that. For me, every work I take up, it's a mission. So mission means we have pitfalls, but still I want to achieve something. Means anybody who keeps his work as a mission, he will try to reach the point. So anti-corruption branch, like any anti-corruption branch in other places also, it was also a corrupt branch. What I inherited was a very corrupt branch. Officers paid money somewhere else or something to get the postings there.
In ACB?
In obviously, because here it's a silently, they knock the doors of corrupt people and they knock out money.
And they enrich in themselves.
Obviously, if there is a complaint,
yeah,
they just have to give a call to the person. There is a complaint against you.
Okay.
That is it. After panel with shivering, or he knows if he's seasoned man, he says that we'll meet for coffee or something like that. But that's one. Then they understand.
So this was there in Delhi.
This was also there. Now from there, if I have to achieve my mission, see, if I believe in one thing: if I have to catch people who are corrupt, first of all, I should not be corrupt. My system should not be corrupt. So we should have a moral authority to catch those people. That is what is a requirement. Now, how to control corruption within my system was my first task. So for 2 months, 3 months, I said I will not make any extra cases. Let me ensure that my system is perfect. This thing. So to do that, I brought lots of checks in my system. I centralized powers for a while. I said the discretion of the officers They would arrest anybody, release anybody, or investigate anybody, drop anybody. I stopped that. That way CBI has some system. Because I worked there, I knew certain system. So I used to give them instructions. You list out all the evidences against each person and put up to me 5 orders. And if I need some more material, I will tell you. So likewise, I introduced lots of methods in that. So ensure that those people will not get this extra money. So, and suppose it's like this. There were at least 5-6 complaints on an average given to every officer. 5-6 means it's a big chunk of money every month. They collect big money. So I stopped giving complaints to my people altogether. So then how do I dispose of? So instead of my people making money, I was giving the complaint with my letterhead. I was sending it to concerned departments. So these are the complaints against your officer. I want you to look into that. If there is a criminal case made out or there is some potential for making a criminal case, that I was not sending. Routine type of grievances, that kind of complaints, mild thing. I just send them, you take action and give me a report. So it was bringing pressure on the department. So, and the discretion of my officer to make money was totally gone. So that is where the system started there. A number of such checks were introduced. Then, and they were keeping very many old cases pending. Again, to milk it. The method is only milking money for money. You give me this many accused, that many accused, make money. These are the standard methods of place. So then apart from that, but even then, how do I act? So then I started interacting with the victims directly. If a victim meets me, suppose the victim meets one of my officers, what he would do is he will immediately ring up those officers, concerned officers, and they say, I have got a complaint. So they will use it for, again, like money. They may be one to exception, I am not saying that, but majority are like this one. So if the victim comes to me, my first method was, I wanted to ensure that no false cases made. Because many times false cases are also made. Somebody says, every case made by the legal agency should be totally free from prejudices. It should be clear and methodically done, and the investigation should be very objective. So if somebody gives a false complaint, say that he is taking money, he is demanding money. What normally is done is that they rush to the place, give the money, gives the money, he is caught. In that process, it has a negative follow-up is also there. Sometimes he will say, in the court he always says, sir, I never asked for the money. Where is the proof that I demanded? And this money is thrust on me, or he owes the money, the particular money. He comes with many excuses. And our people also know that. So they don't even think of an alternative. They just say this is the only method they cause. So many false cases are also made. Some cases against it. So my first task was to stop the false cases. So if there is a complainant, then I was meeting him personally. And once I am sure that this is what he's saying is convincing, then I introduce the sting operation as a method.
What was the operation?
Nothing. Simple thing. He has a mobile phone. He just goes. It is a victim who will know everything about a case. It is between two people. He will say, give me so much of money. Then he says, sir, I can't give you. No, please reduce it. That fellow will say, no, but I became a script specialist.
Okay.
I was giving a script, anticipating what evidence will be coming forth. Ultimately, my task is to see that the case stands in the court. It has certain legal requirements. Because like demand should be proved. Like that man should be in an official position to do the work. And there was a transaction, there was sort of a bargain, money discussion was there, otherwise he threatened that he would not do that. A court requires certain legal evidence to withstand the test of the defense and the legal process. So but how to get that information? Now, for example, this complainant, whoever is that, I used to give him the script. So you just tell him, sir, I have come for this kind of job and kindly ensure that it is done faster. And now my whole work is pending. Kindly see the check is cleared. So, and the engineer would say, okay, do one thing. First of all, you do the work. It's a code. Do the work means give me the money first.
Okay.
Then actually speaking, the work is already done. This man has gone to him for check. Then he said, start the work. I'll give you money. I'll see that it is done. Your check is cleared. So, but the reality is that. So, ultimately, this man would tell us, sir, this is the conversation. His meaning is that he wants the money first. Then finally, next time he will go. One recording is done. the demand part. Next time, sir, I mean, that 1 lakh, I'm not able to give 1 lakh. He'll bring it that way. The AE says so much percentage, JE says so much percentage, do that. But then again, we will try to reduce. So that way I try to implicate all the people who are connected with that particular demand of money or sharing of money. So this will bring a lot of, those people who wanted to fix somebody, they would not do the sting operation. It is only the people who are genuinely concerned or genuinely affected, they do that. So that was really helping us.
So did it help you to nab?
They bring all the evidences.
Okay.
Suppose the evidence is not complete, I would give him a further script.
Okay.
They would go. And sometimes there are cases where things have already happened. Means there was a demand. Everything has already happened. Now if I have to register a case today, how do I do that? So in fact I'll tell you an example if you have time for that.
Yes, sure,
a very
sure,
interesting
sure.
story.
Yeah.
There was a deputy commissioner of municipal corporation, very close to Sheila Dikshit. A person who was supposed to conduct elections also, I was told about it. So there was a complaint from, there was a Supreme Court monitoring committee in Delhi, headed by a very senior person who retired IAS officer. One day he gave me a call, saying that there is some matter, would you like to handle this? I said, okay, let's have a meeting. I went there. One Sardarji came to the, he was owning a farmhouse. So that farmhouse was sealed by the deputy commissioner a year back. So in spite of all the efforts, it was not open. The story is that he had the document, maybe on a particular day he did not have the proper document. He went and sealed it. Then after he demanded 2 crores of rupees for de-sealing it.
2 crores?
2 crores. This man said, I can't pay that much of thing. He was white. His son was white. Then next part, what happened next is, there was communication gap, but he would not do that. Ties were snapped for that, because this man was wild and they behaved rudely also. And again he established a concept. Then he said, okay, I'll bring it down to 1 crore rupees. This man didn't agree. Again a gap. Again tries to establish a contact. He says, no. Then the fellow says, okay, at least 20 lakhs should be the advance paid. Then you pay the rest after you start the business. So that man, somehow 20 lakhs also, he was not willing. He went to this monitoring committee. Monitoring committee examined the papers and wrote to this man, deputy commissioner. See, everything is in order. Please de-seal it. This man goes with the order of monitoring committee, letter of the committee, and goes to them. He said, who is the monitoring committee? I am the authority. Unless you pay me the money, there is no question of you go and tell anybody you like. That's all. Then he again goes back to the monitoring committee. Then monitoring committee tells, see, what all I have done, well, I will do one thing, will try to help you another way. I know the CBI director of the people, I will just put in a word, you just go and meet the CBI officer, let the CBI trap him. So he goes to the place. Then taking the reference of the monitoring committee chairman, and after going there, CBI people ask, okay, case is good, deputy commissioner, we will trap him, but you have to mobilize at least 30-40 lakhs of rupees. So that he will be trapped with the money.
Okay.
30-40 lakhs, if you bring it, then we will trap him. They said, I have lost my business for the last so many, almost a year.
I have nothing.
How do I give the end? If I give the money also, it gets locked also wherever it's mobilized, I can't even go ahead with the whole thing, it's not possible. Then they tell him, you don't bring the money, we can't trap. There is no other evidence. There's no.
So this is what the CBI tells me.
CBI, because there is no other evidence also.
Okay.
Frankly, what evidence is there? Everything is oral, it's already happened.
Yes.
And unless the money is the only transaction, no? He is accepting money.
Yes.
That is one thing where it is possible. So they said, if you don't bring money, we can't do that. They again came back to this monitoring committee, Mr. Burela. Then Burela, he spoke to me. See, this is the case. Can you help us? Can you help this man? I said, yes, I will help. I said, what way? Here, evidence is lost. Whatever past 1 year, whatever has happened, the evidence is totally lost. Now, next part is that money the man can't give. Then what way? Then he said, sir, you sent him, and I heard it. I said, I'll give certain instruction. He is only supposed to follow that strictly. If he follows those instructions, I will see that the man is caught. Then the man came, Sardarji came. Then I gave him certain briefing. As I said, a script.
Yes,
every case I had a different kind of script.
Yes.
Here, as per that case, I scripted. Here, what is my task? I can't create new evidence. But whatever has been lost, whatever has happened, I have to recap everything in a digital form. If I can catch that whole evidence in my recording somewhere, then that will be very helpful. So then I told him that you do one thing. Now, anyway, Deputy Commissioner, you may not be able to directly meet now. So there is a second man there, one assistant engineer was there. If you can get hold of him or re-establish your contact, then that may be useful to you. So you may try. So that I can try. So he tried. So what he did was, in his office, whatever plan I have given, in his office, he fixed his cameras, recorders, everything together, and invited that man for lunch. When he came for lunch, again, I said, only thing you have to play a drama. And the drama is what? Sir, and that to North India, some people are very adept in dramatics also. Sir, maaf kar dijiye, main aapka paam pakad raha hu to. I mean, anyway, whatever has happened, I said, I'm really regretting everything. Because when we pass through bad days, we lose our sense. As a businessman, I should have that common sense that yes, when there are authorities, when they ask for money, we should give and see that things should move forward. Our business should not suffer. But the only problem is that day, when your deputy commissioner asked for 2 crores of rupees, and my son got white. He was really hot. I am very sorry for whatever has happened this side. Because I know that this man would not deny. See, the fact is that he is saying that 2 crores were demanded. Yes. This man is, there is a non-denial shows there is a confirmation of that. Even he says, sir, even I am at fault because at least I should have intervened to see that scene was stopped. But even I did not. I was in a daze actually when 2 crores was mentioned. I was also in a daze, honestly speaking. So, but anyway, sir, that part is over. I am very much regretting for whatever has happened. Okay, that part has come. Then he got his next stage. Sir, sir, let's have our lunch. This thing I brought. Do you remember last time also we had some good lunch and the same items I brought this time also. I know that you like this chicken I brought from this item. It was going on. Then he says, do you remember? Even that also, second time also when you said 1 crore also, I did not listen to you. So now I'm regretting. See, 1 year you can imagine what is the loss I incurred. So, no prudent business would ever commit such mistakes. See, authority is supreme. You are our gods. Nobody else can help us. And only you are the right person. Then he said yes. Then he started mellowing down, and that was.
So and what happened towards the end?
Then it continued.
Okay.
Even the third thing was even the 20 lakhs demand also. All the 3 were recorded by him.
Okay.
So this was completed. So then he brought the record and showed it to me. I said, this assistant engineer's role is very, very clear. Deputy commissioner roles also coming. But if you have to nab the assistant engineer, I can nab. But to nab that person, I must have his voice directly. They know it is possible. So then he pleads with the person. So please introduce me to, take me to deputy commissioner. I'll talk to him and I'll plead with him. I'll touch his feet again.
So was that done because we are running slightly out of time and then we have to wind up?
Then he goes to the place.
Yeah.
And then there was he plays the same drama and everything. Then all the points were recaptured and brought to me. So the only thing is that was in his office. So he has to change he can't keep cameras with him. So we use a different method of sting operation. Some other recording instrument, he wears his coat, a tie, everything, etc. But concealed things were brought.
But subsequently he was nabbed.
Both of them were nabbed.
Okay.
But only thing I want to say that only with 2 simple recordings, entire evidence meant for the case. There was no transaction of money.
Okay.
But still good.
But instead, you could do it.
We could.
So we need perhaps more sting operations and more people like you, Dilip Kumarji, and I'm sure that corruption cannot be eliminated totally, but I think we can reduce it slowly, and maybe with more people like Dilip Kumar, who is now after retirement floating a brigade to fight corruption. He is now in Visakhapatnam and he is continuing his crusade. We wish him all the best and we hope that one day India will be corrupt free. Thank you for watching Prime Media TV.